Drones have revolutionised the way we see the world. From stunning aerial photography to surveying and search and rescue.
There's that much beauty out there that we can't see from the ground. Why not have a look at it from the air?
Over the past decade, numbers in Australia have grown exponentially.
The figures show us that there's up to 1 million drones out there, possibly even slightly more.
There are strict safety laws governing their use. You can't fly over people, near airports or at night. But those rules aren't always followed.
I think technology is designed for good, but I think in the hands of the wrong person, it can be used for evil, obviously.
There was a famous one at a hardware store where someone flew a drone to get a sausage sizzle. The risk there was that people in the car park could have been hit by the drone. So we issued a penalty in that case that cost that person almost $1,000. Do the wrong thing with your drone, you'll get a big hole in your pocket.
The Civil Aviation Safety Authority is cracking down on unsafe behaviour. This equipment can detect drones being flown where they shouldn't be.
So the system's listening for any drones in our area of surveillance?
We do see people flying too close to other people, flying over around crowds or groups of people, and very commonly flying too close to airports.
In June, a Port Kembla man was fined almost $8,000 for flying too close to his neighbours. They recorded the incident.
We issued 63 infringement notices last year. We've issued 43 so far this year, and a number of others in train.
But unless people are caught in the act or post their exploits online, it can be impossible to identify who owns the drone. Starting next year, CASA is introducing compulsory registration of all drones over 250 grams.
We'll be commencing that with people flying commercial drones, large commercial drones, then moving on to the smaller commercial drones. When we've got that bedded down, we'll then move on to recreational drones. That's at this point looking like being more like 2022.
While CASA struggles with the logistics of such a huge undertaking, it's also facing a backlash from commercial drone pilots.
Unjustified, unneeded and totally unfair. It's like an extra tax.
Doc Baldwin owns a $6,000 drone and has spent thousands on training for his aerial photography business. He argues the 17,000 commercial drone operators are not the problem.
That means the safe pilots, the pilots that have done their courses, done their training, spent thousands of dollars getting to where they're at, have to spend more money. Again, already registered, already licensed, already have all their details with CASA, registrations, serial numbers, the works. Now we've got to do it again.
While CASA hasn't settled on the registration fee, there's widespread speculation. Commercial users will cop a $160 annual charge per drone, while hobby users will pay much less.
Obviously, we've got to make it accessible for everybody who's flying a drone for fun. If we make it too difficult or too daunting, people simply will avoid it.
Registration will make it easier to enforce the rules, but CASA can't stop people spying with a drone if there's no safety risk.
Look, there are no specific privacy rules for drones. Simple fact is drones, the technology was never thought of when the privacy laws were written. So you don't own the airspace above your property, so you can't stop aircraft or drones for that matter flying over it.
This drone was found at a lady's property being used by her former partner to be able to stalk her. He was actually taking photos through this drone while she was in her bedroom.
Steve Wilson knows the challenges of getting a successful prosecution for an invasion of privacy. He's a former police detective who now runs a security firm helping domestic violence victims better protect themselves.
I probably expected it was going to be only a matter of time before someone would use a drone in such a pervasive way, yes.
Privacy laws vary from state to state. Queensland is currently looking at how its laws can be tightened to stop drone misuse.
The federal government needs to take a leadership role. Having legislation across the country that differs from state to state is absurd.
In Canberra, concerns about privacy have led to a backlash against a CASA-approved drone delivery service run by Wing, a company owned by Google's parent Alphabet.
People are very upset about the intrusiveness and invasiveness of a drone flying over the top of our heads, especially when they've got cameras.
Our camera is pointed straight down, you can't aim it around, it's low resolution in black and white, and it's just used for navigation.
Residents are also complaining about the noise.
The noise of a drone has been compared to an F1 racer or an out-of-control whippersnapper. The negatives definitely outweigh the positives.
But it seems we'll all have to get used to more unmanned aircraft in Australian skies. Uber is planning to trial an air taxi in Melbourne from next year, and Wing is expanding its deliveries to Queensland using quieter drones.
Like any technology, there's going to be challenges along the way.
We think that this is a really high potential technology, especially as our cities grow and become more congested. Drones can help alleviate some of that congestion on the ground while providing a great service.
Hi, I'm Lee Sales. Thanks for watching this story. If you'd like to watch more of 730's stories, they are on the left of your screen. And tap on the button below to subscribe and get the latest from ABC News.